Hello and welcome back. This is English 11B, Unit 8, Performance Task 2. My name is Ms. Gabby. I am the English teacher at Moreno Valley OFY. So if you need help with Performance Task 2, you should have already gotten it in Unit 7 because you had an oral conversation with your teacher about your persuasive essay or short story. As long as you make those corrections and follow this checklist, you should be good to go for that one. There are two different rubrics, so you can see here if you're looking at a persuasive essay, if that's what you chose to write, you have to make sure that you have claims and counterclaims that are organized logically and clearly. You want to make sure that your persuasive techniques, ethos, logos, and pathos, are used effectively. Remember, claims are the arguments that you're making, counterclaims are the arguments against yourself that you're making and then shooting down really quick. Organized logically means that there's either a beginning, a middle, and an end, compare and contrast, organized from most important to least important to most important. There's some kind of an organization there that makes sense. Claims and or counterclaims effectively supported with evidence, so you don't just say the sky is blue. You tell me why the sky is blue, right? You give me the evidence from a scientist that I can trust that builds that ethos or that persuasive technique right there. So you should have quotes, you should have citations and things like that. Well-structured concluding statement that effectively supports the argument. So the argument is always in your thesis. You want to make sure that you have your thesis in your conclusion. You want to make sure that you have a call to action. And then right here, I need to be able to see that there's a difference between your rough draft and your final draft. So that's for the persuasive essay. For short story, establishes a setting, so tells me time and place. A narrator, is this going to be first person point of view? Is this going to be third person limited, third person omniscient, right? Remember, third person limited is from somebody outside yourself's point of view, but only from their point of view. Third person omniscient is like God, being able to look down into each of his people and tell me exactly what they're thinking, seeing, doing, and all of that. That's the point of view. Effectively, give me plot and characters developed successfully with narrative techniques. So I should be able to figure out that roller coaster or mountain or however you learned it. I should be able to see the exposition, the rising action, the climax, the falling action, the resolution or denouement, right? There should be a well-structured conclusion that effectively resolves the story. I'm okay if it doesn't like tie up into a perfect little bow ending, but I should be able to tell that this is the ending. If I can't tell that that's the end and it just looks like he stopped mid-story, then the plot structure isn't there and it does not work. Purposeful steps taken to develop and strengthen. How do you see a rough draft and a final draft? Okay, so 35 points. How many points do you have to get correct in order to pass this? Let's see. 35 times 0.7. You have to get 25 points. So 7 points, right? So you have to at least get 25 points. If you ever are curious how I do this, it's just right there. 35 times 0.07. 0.7, not 0.07. It is definitely feeling like a Monday. Okay, that is for Performance Task 2. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out. Other than that, we will move on to the review and the assessment.